are live. Hello, everybody at home. It is fantastic to be back. We have another session of the Winimere Falls. That's the tavern of Winimere Falls. And we also have, as you may have noticed, to my other way round left, I think.
You're right.
It's my
on
right.
stream.
On stream, my bottom right, we have a mystery guest who will be joining us soon.
Bottom.
Lewis!
What? I thought you were just talking about yourself. Sorry.
You dickhead. So we... where we left off last session was on quite a bombshell. After some revelations, some radical action, breaking free, something from a huge bloody building, we learned that Wayne is in fact reborn Ewan. He is an undead version of Ewan, raised again but unfeeling and uncaring, with everything stripped from him. And we had a lot happen last session, so it's going to be very interesting to see the after effects of this. I would like to start by coming over to Bulla.
Yep.
Bulla, you have just met Ewan again in front of you, but at the same time not. Only part of the man that you once had left. As you run out, chasing after you comes Tara. You get a fair distance. You are a bit more nimble than she is. You are a little bit quicker than she is.
I would be heading absent-mindedly toward Ewan's statue, by the way.
And you just find yourself looking. And as you do, you see an out-of-breath Tara catching up. Bulla. You see that she kind of like leans forward a bit and tries to catch her own breath a second and says,
You know, Tara, I think you must have misplaced some of that Carnar leaf or something. I think I'm seeing things. Thank God you're here.
She takes one of your hands and kind of gets a very firm grip as she looks at you and says, I saw it too. It's him. Well, what's left of him.
She'll just shake her head a little bit, but look at the statue, just trying to come to grips on reality, and she just goes, how? He's right there. He's in memory.
I don't know. I don't. Think of all those others. The others who rose. Those people, the ones we look after, we protect them here. It comes from him. I think it... Because it didn't start, not straight away afterwards. Remember, we were leaving. Wayne said something when he came and found me. About when he woke up. I think it all started with him.
He came to you?
I didn't know it was Ewan. I didn't. Okay. Insight, please.
Nat 20.
Oh! That is a beautiful natural 20.
Oh god.
She is skirting around the issue here. She's not being fully truthful with you right now.
She will fully just yank her hand away and look Tara dead in the eye, and tears streaming down her face, but there is like a hint of like complete seriousness. Tell me what you know. Don't lie to me, Tara.
I wasn't sure. I suspected. They're just
You suspected.
Things, there were things that Wayne kept saying. Okay, he said things and they didn't make sense. I wondered, but I never asked.
I mean, and Bola's just thinking about some of the things that she's actually thought of too. And she's, I mean, he knew about the nuke, but I mean, it's not that much of a secret, especially amongst the guild. I thought you told him were... He did sound like him. That's what I thought when I first met him. But I see him almost every night. So I can't really... I thought I was just wishful thinking, I guess. I ignored it too. Certain things that he would say and do. I thought I just missed him so much.
She comes back. This time, rather than gripping your hands, she comes back to sort of pick them up together. And she brings your hands together. And she says, you know, I'd see the Macaulay twins. A pair of them. Remember them? Little ones? Little dryad kids?
Yeah.
They'd be mucking around out the front of the tavern.
Yeah.
And they used to try and steal things off Merrick. They used to try and pick his pockets. And it was... And when I saw them, it reminded me of him. It kept him close. And I know for you, you saw him every day, but you actually did see him. You all did, without knowing. He was drawn to you. You see, when he came to me, when Ewan came to me, he said he had a drive, something that was telling him he had to come here. And I wondered why this reborn who wouldn't show us his face would be drawn to me. I thought, you know, was it someone I knew? Was it... She stops and says, he came for all of us. But he came for you. There was unfinished business. Sylvanus works in strange ways.
I just wish that Is it weird that I just finally accepted that he was gone?
She squeezes your hand a little bit and says, you kind of wanted him to stay gone? For it to be final?
No. I was just tired of suffering.
Yeah. Oh.
And I just I had to become something different in order to cope.
As you start breaking up, she fully pulls you in for a hug. She just wraps her arms around you and squeezes and says, I'm right here. And so's Merrick.
Oh, bawling.
Yeah.
Bawling.
And,
Like, probably wailing, honestly.
and as you cry, you can just feel how tight Tara's grip gets in. You feel this presence around you. And you're going to get a surprise. Because
Another one. Pausing for effect.
Pausing for effect, because I just need to double check. Because you feel a wave of energy come over the air around you. As the air settles, everything goes quiet, and she casts Calm Emotions as she pulls you in. Would Bulla resist? Because it doesn't change her from being upset. Calm Emotions only is capping edges of things here.
Right.
Would Bulla resist?
No. I don't think she has the will to at the moment.
You feel there's a relaxation in your muscles, and she relaxes in with you. And you realise that with this spell, as you feel the stillness, you realise it's in the air around you. Everything's quiet. The whole atmosphere around you. There was a breeze before, but you can't feel it. Everything is still and it's quiet. And as she holds you in this hug, she says, I'm here. Merrick is here. Saralise is here. Salvar is here. Your friends, your family, we are here, and we ain't going anywhere. Whatever we can do to bring him back, to help him how he is, or even if this is what we get, we make the best of it, yeah? We're gonna make it work.
Yeah. Thank you, Tara.
No, Bulla. Thank you. You've saved my ass more times than I care to count. You saved the father of my child. You've saved my child. You've saved all of us so many times. The least I can do. And this time you feel another effect now. You feel as she had produced... I'll be here for you. And I will get you what you need. And as she hands you the vial, she says, have this. I promise it's not like the Canos leaf.
Honestly, I'll take anything right now. She takes it.
Yep.
Do I know what it is?
Yes. She has given you the wobbling with a potion of the wobbling will wobbling with the.
You got this. You got this.
The potion of the wobbling widow. There we go.
Wobbling will. Well, see, I almost did it. Wobbling widow. Got it. Yes.
This is a calm emotion. This has the effect of calm emotions, but is extended out over 4 hours, because calm emotions lasts for a minute. So this is a longer acting one she's given you, and says, "Okay, you feel it. You hold that. You let it power you. But right now, I need you, and so does he." Okay. She takes where she's kind of gone back to holding your hands. She moves her hand and locks hands with you in a position of strength. And you can feel another squeeze as she looks strong at you, and she says, "It's our orcish pride. This is the shit we do."
Yeah. God, you sound like my mom.
She smiles and says, "Yeah, hell of a role model."
Yeah. Thank you. I'm really gonna need this later.
I've got some more. Just let me know.
Thanks, Tara.
And as she does that, she says to you, she says, "You found your oath. It's time I can show you a little bit of mine." As she smiles.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I'm trying not to squeeze. Okay. In the moment.
As she takes your hand, she says, "You ready to go back? Or do you want to have a wander?"
I can't. Not now. I have something I need to do tonight, and I just can't. Not right now. I need to go see the sisters, though.
Yeah.
You know exactly where they are, and she'll ask where they are.
Yeah. She tells you where they are.
Okay.
And she does mention to you about Salvar as well, and says to you, you might want to go and grab Salvar. And she finishes it by saying, I'm going to go back. And I'm going to go and find out what's, how everyone else is doing. She looks to the side, and you see a moment of her collecting herself. Clear your head. Go for a wander. Come back when you're ready. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah, just give me a minute.
I love you, kid.
Love you too.
And she starts to walk back to the tavern. Where does Bulla go in this first moment as she stood by the statue?
She'll just look at the Ewan statue for a little bit longer, trying to fully grasp it, but not knowing that she can't at the moment. We'll kind of walk away from the statue, but we'll head over to her apartment to grab the hammer. She would have had it wrapped, so it's not as, I mean, it's huge, but like everyone expects Bola to be carrying something huge, but she wrapped it so it doesn't look as
obvious,
ridiculous, obvious. And she'll start slowly heading back.
Yeah. So I'm going to come back to the tavern, to Saralise, to Salvar, and to Wayne. And we're going to cut back to the moment that Tara runs out. She darts out the door and vanishes out of sight. In the room, there is only you three. And an air of silence.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm immediately gonna go up to him, like not in an aggressive way, but in a curious way, just like not getting his face, but sort of like
yeah.
And
I believe you're gonna strike me. Would it help you if I turned? Would it make it more realistic if I turned around and said some people like it?
Oh, that's so sad. That's so funny. It's so
sad. No, I just give him a hug.
he responds, but it's one of those things where, you know, when someone hugs you, but they're hugging you because you're hugging them as opposed to feeling something.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of just feels like arms draped around you as opposed to actually like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I just want to point out I have a motive to this, by the way. I'm going to use my hermit feature.
Ooh.
I'm going to invoke discovery.
Ooh, discovery. Right, I have
so-
to dig this up.
The quiet seclusion of your extended hermitage gave you an access to a unique and powerful discovery. The exact nature of this is relevance depends on the nature of your seclusion.
So,
It might be a great truth about the cosmos, the deities, the powerful beings, or outer planes of the forces of nature. It could be a sight that no one else has ever seen. You might even not have to uncover a fact that has long been forgotten, or unearth some relic of the past that could rewrite history. It might be information that would be damaging to the people who have consigned you to exile, and hence the reasons for you to return to society. I only wanted to do have a yes or no question. Is it anything to do with my god, essentially?
yes.
Yes.
Yes. You hug him, and in that moment, in your seclusion, when you were watching over the graveyard, the site of the battle. That's right. Yeah. As you're looking over the graves of those fallen soldiers, as you protected it, you gained a great understanding of Arwen. The ways that he moves through the world, his energies, the feelings of not only death, but the life that grows upon it. It gives you your innate ability to sense the undead. It gives you so much of your divine power. You don't need spellcraft to know this feeling. You can feel the powerful magics and the raw celestial energy of Arwen within him.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything more. I'm just going to take a mental note of that and act like everything's fine.
I mean, Wayne's already left, like he's already put his helmet back on, so it's one of those things where, you know,
he's put his face back away.
Yeah. Effectively.
Dude, is my hair out?
Because I'm going to very quickly say, as you're going to put your helm on. Sorry, Liza. As you're going to put this on, all of you are distracted as you hear a loud clattering sound. You see that Rayleigh has dropped her cup on the stairs and is looking at Ewan's face. And walks over and looks up at Ewan. At Wayne, we should say. What's his response to seeing Riley?
I mean, it's one of those things where he looks down and then signs hello.
She just signs a question. She just signs a question mark. She looks confused.
Wayne, kind of not being able to feel, but kind of understanding, actually gets off the table he sat on. Like, sits down, and then actually goes to remove the helmet again, so he's actually at her head height. And then just looks at her, but it's one of those things where he doesn't like taking the helmet off because, well, I say he doesn't like it. The fact is that he can only look at her with cold, unfeeling eyes. So that's unsettling.
She reaches forward and touches his face, and touches the face. And you can see that her face is quite still, but tears are rolling down on her face. As she kind of touches the face, she signs to Saralise, and she only signs help and no other word. As
Saralise walks over to Rayleigh and picks her up.
She's
and
weeping, absolutely weeping the moment that you sort of hold her. She's just
in
so upset.
Aquan, so her native language, she like the intent of vicious mockery is there, but she's not actually casting vicious mockery. Ustella was a Clybring Gaga.
Ooh, I like hearing it. And
why didn't you tell us sooner?
I am not who I was.
Doesn't matter. Oh.
Not to you. There's a statue dedicated to who I was out there. I died. A hero.
You did?
And I'm back. And since I've been back, I have killed people without remorse, without mercy. There are people who, with my face associated to that, would associate one with the other, and as a result, that martyr, that legacy, dies. Ultimately, Ewan lives on through the stories of Ewan.
Look,
I may have his body and his memories, but I do not have his emotions, personality, or feelings. I only remember them.
You could have told us. You didn't need to reveal it to the rest of those of us who fled Winimere, but those of us who have been around you this entire time. Why now?
You asked for there to be no more secrets between us. I obliged. I sensed the fact that I made a mistake in that.
We wanted to... This is something we would have wanted to know sooner. Just...
Nobody asked sooner.
We were respecting your privacy.
I don't feel respect. I just honored the fact that no one asked.
So what now?
You know I have a dead comrade's face and a dead comrade's memories. I'm not alone in here. You know that too. You've seen her. Wayne will kind of elaborate on it by... He actually takes off the helmet again, and then he takes off the, like, massive gorget that he's got. And then he'll actually open up the leather to a point where it goes down and the cracks get worse until you see the same green energy that exists. There is, like, a hole of it where his heart should be.
The catalyst.
Turns out that two souls cannot exist within one body, but they can exist within one corpse. I replaced my soul with Rayleigh's, so she may live. Doesn't mean Asana died. She's as dead as Ewan is.
And her soul.
Trapped in here with me.
That explains the powers.
Weird question. Can I bring Asana forward?
You can, yes.
Like using minor illusion to make a sort of the dull green flame, and
you
then like
can
her
fully let her speak through you. She can speak through the corpse only with if you want her to. You can fully, with the illusion through speaking, you can bring.
I'll do it through the illusion because ultimately I don't trust her to have full reign of the body temporarily.
Yeah.
I will not be true to my character at this point. Okay, I just want to point that out. I will not be true to my character at this point.
Because you see the you see a little image of its Asana. And you see this very angry-looking face, spectral face that appears. It says, "You insolent mortals!" As it looks, you just see that it's Asana's face consumed with this pure, unabated rage.
Is her face fixed or is the jaw still fucked?
Is her head still there?
Well, no,
it's literally like, you know how imagine Ron's mum with the letter in Harry Potter. It's like that through the flame.
Oh damn.
But for reference, it'll all click together every time Wayne summoned that banshee for Psychic Scream. It's been her.
Yeah.
I love that.
In order to kill her or have her die with me and save Rayleigh, had to tear apart my soul. The functional part exists here as a cage. And by me not feeling emotions, I can keep her emotions in check.
So you're a walking prison.
Of a sort. That's why I have the lantern. In the meantime, I gave the other part of myself before it got corrupted to Bola.
Your heart.
In a sense, it's more like half of my soul. The part that feels, the part that was connected to her.
I'm just gonna about face at this point. Just got to Sarlai, squeeze her hand, and I'm gonna leave.
Sarlai passes Rayleigh off to Salvar, and says,
"Who's very afraid of me still, by the way."
No.
No?
Salvar.
No, she likes you now.
Salvar, as you go to pass off, you see in a moment of her being like, she is like snotty nosed, proper been crying. She looks at you. You see there's the beat of hesitation before she just again latches on and just holds you for a moment. It's so out of the blue in this moment, and you can feel that like she kind of strokes on your scales as she just kind of like tries to like just latch onto you.
I'm just thinking, oh god. In my head, I'm thinking, oh shit. And as I'm heading outside anyway. I saw Tara. I'm assuming Tara's coming back at some point. I'm just gonna sit on a bench outside, sit her on my knee. And do I have it? I do. I am going to. Do I have it? Oh, please say I have it. Please say I fucking have it. Please, for the love of God, say I fucking have it.
Have calm emotions?
No. Where the fuck is it? I don't even know what spell it is.
In the meantime, Wayne is replacing all of his sort of fixings, if you like. And then if Sarlais is still looking at him, there's this weird moment where all of the flames that kind of make up part of him, so like the ones that run out of the eyes, the ones that kind of come off of the horns and stuff, and the lantern start to spark almost, like where they go from green and they start to go yellow and then like a deep red as he looks towards the door, and then just casts Dimension Door and disappears.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Well, that's rude.
FYI, by the way, I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon.
Yeah.
And hang on, before people panic, I'm going to cast it in the form of sort of like a draconic humanoid sort of thing, not quite, sort of, upright, bipedal sort of, and start and make it like start dancing in my hand. Sort of like a like one of those music boxes where you got like the fairy just sort of like yeah, sort of like that.
You see that she's like sniffling, crying now, but you can like hear and feel the giggles as she watches this little dancing figure on your hand. Like, she's still sniffling, but now kind of has this little smile as she watches it.
I don't know what to say. I can't really say anything.
Well, since Wayne decided to yeet out of the room before I could ask the question I was going to, Sarlise is going to walk outside and sit down next to Salvar, and she's going to pick Rayleigh up and put her on her lap, and she's going to start humming so that Rayleigh can feel the vibrations.
Rayleigh kind of like nuzzles into your chest to feel the humming, and she signs to you and just asks why.
Sarlise signs back. Ewan saved you, and in doing so, became Wayne.
She stops and ponders this. She's kind of still got her attention on the dancing figure that Salvar's got. She still seems to be sort of partially distracted by that, and signs back and says, "So, can Wayne come back? Can Ewan come back?"
Sarlise signs back. I don't know. I hope so. But it would be complicated. Maybe impossible.
You see that she starts welling up again, and she starts like getting really upset, and then she signs, "Tell Dad?" ?
Sarlise nods and like pulls Rayleigh in tighter and kisses her on the forehead.
But bawling her eyes out again. Absolutely goes back to tears.
Sarlise holds her.
Yeah. And in this moment, we're going to cut away over to Wayne. Wayne, this pull, this feeling, it strikes at you again. Why at this moment? Why right now? You do not know. You need to go to the docks. You don't know why. You don't know how you know. But you know you do.
He moves. He dimension dodged the once, but he's walking the rest of the way.
Would he be paying attention to his surroundings along the way?
No.
Cool. Then he has no idea. So you arrive at the docks, and you have this moment of not sort of like, well, I'm here, trying to establish what it is you should be looking for, when the pull comes into your mind again. There's a tavern about 6 doors down from where you're standing. You need to go in there.
Where are you taking me, Asana?
Asana doesn't reply, but not just in a sense that you don't get anything, you get this sense of intentionally being ignored, for want of a better term.
Yeah, just goes to the tavern, ultimately.
Okay. when you're in here, she doesn't direct you any further. So what does Wayne do now that he's in here?
What is the sense of the tavern right now? Is it busy? Is it empty? Is it...
It's mostly empty. It's quite quiet. There's a couple of there's a group of sailors down here. You can see in one corner. Another one you see, what you're pretty sure is a merchant and a couple of his family, like a traveling merchant who sat having a meal. The sailors are discussing. They're poring over a piece of parchment. They look like they're working with ale. But other than that, there isn't really anyone else in here. The innkeeper behind, you can see, is a surprisingly well-built high elf. High elves are very slender and tall. This guy is built like a Russian battle tank.
So 20 years old and doesn't work.
Burn. I've also realised probably my usual reference of saying someone's built like a Russian battle tank has a different context right now.
Yep.
Whoops.
In Britain, we use brick shithouse.
Yeah, brick shithouse. I reckon we'll go with that then. He's built like a brick shithouse. Like to a point of him looking a little bit out of proportion. As he sits behind, he is covered in tattoos. All up and down, full sleeves, up the neck, but none on the face.
There's a moment where Wayne kind of looks around, doesn't really notice anyone out of place, and then... If you didn't call me in here... Can I retroactively roll an intimidation, and depending on how well I roll, I can sort of flavor what he does? Because he's going to try and scare everyone out of the tavern.
Yeah, we can do an intimidation, yeah.
Well, that's 28, so...
Woo-hoo! Beautiful.
Like, the flames kind of flare up to a point of, almost Asana appearing behind him and, grabbing his shoulders and angrily looking over. It's one of those things where it's like, if you didn't call me here, get out!
Ho-ho-ho! The sailors and the family and the merchants very promptly leave out of the back entrance. As you just watch this panic on their eyes, you see that the innkeeper vaults over the bar and draws out an axe. But it is another one of those popping axes. He clicks it and it expands out. As he says, I ain't looking for trouble, mate. You can get the fuck out of my tavern now, though.
I'm not looking for trouble either. Trouble found me. However, if you are looking for potentially losing your life, start preparing Eldritch Blasts in both his hands, and the spectral hand that comes over his shoulder of Asana lights up too.
Ooh. These ones light up. He looks at them, and you see that he rolls his sleeves back and says, you got some tricks. I got a few of my own. He drags his hand across one of the tattoos, and you watch as a set of spectral armor goes around him. And he readies his weapon and says, look, I know why you're here. You ain't taking her anywhere.
Who's her?
Don't play stupid with me. It doesn't suit you.
Well, seeing as I was called here by someone, I assume it's her that called me.
She ain't
Though
called
the fun
anyone.
idea that she definitely called me. Though I will say, I can't feel anything right now, so your threats, which are attempting to make me fear for my life, won't work, because I can't care about my life. Ultimately, you are wasting your time, so either try and hurt me, or I'll do the service of killing you, because again, I can't feel remorse.
Let's do a roll. Okay. You need to roll initiative then. I've got a 24. What have you got?
I tied.
Oh, you've tied.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Last level up, I did +2 to Dex.
Right. Well, he's got a +3 to Dex. He's got a 15.
I've got a plus. How's that work? But either way, I have a +5.
I'm getting my numbers wrong. You've got +5, so yeah, it doesn't matter. He's right. But yeah, he's got a 15 in Dex. Yeah,
That's
so
+2.
you go first. That is +2. Why am my brain short-circuiting? Yeah. So yes. What do you want to open up with?
Nothing beyond just Eldritch blasting the guy.
Cool.
Ultimately.
Roll me attack with the damage at the same time.
Bonus action, hex, because I
Nice.
can keep that up.
Yep. Nice. He's hexed.
So that is a natural 20, a 21, and a 28 to hit.
Your bloody dice love you today, don't they?
They do, yeah. Dealing... What's that? I need to do another d10 because necrotic damage. Okay, so that is...
Which ability did you choose, by the way, for him to have disadvantage on?
Oh, let's go with wisdom.
Cool.
So that is on the crit. Christ, 40 damage on the crit.
Woo!
And then it's another 16 damage on the other 2 Eldritch Blasts. So 56 damage in total.
Did you say one of them was a 21?
Hmm?
Was one of those hits a 21? I've just...
Yes.
Yes. That's a miss.
Okay, so it's...
You watch as the other two...
-8.
Yeah. You see the other part hits, you watch as he flicks his blade, and he... Like, it is going to hit him square in the chest. His blade flicks up, and it hits the blade, blocking it. He parries as a reaction to knock off one of the hits there. And he's going to come in for his attack.
Oh, I just didn't roll any of the hex damage either. Sorry.
Yeah. So he's coming in for the...
Another 7.
18 for the first attack.
Hits.
D6. 4 radiant damage, 8 slashing damage with the axe as he comes in for an underhand.
Okay.
A 16 to hit.
Misses.
Comes in, swoops. You are able to swoop under. He's going to take an action surge to keep going, as well as his extra attack. So he's coming in for another attack, 21.
Hits.
For a 10 slashing. And a full. He's coming in for a full 6 radiant. And does a... Yeah, that's going to hit. Oh, not much. That's only a 4. 4 slashing, 2 radiant. And next attack... Oh, that'll hit. For 12 slashing and 4 radiant. As he is just like lightning comes in with just wallop, 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 wallop. He's looking pretty hurt. He's not looking like he's doing great. But he's tanked the hits relatively well considering. He's above half still. But you've definitely drawn blood here.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's around to you. What's your passive perception, by the way?
11.
Yeah, no, never mind.
Yeah, I'll rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat. Lovely. Give me all those rolls again, baby. Yeah.
That is a 26, that is a 19, and that is a dirty 20.
Oh, yep.
All hit.
Hold on. Say that again. I phased out midway through. So you had the dirty 20, you had the
19,
and
and the 26.
the 26 hits. I need to check parry rules again.
It's reaction to use on one attack.
Yeah. Okay, meets it, beats it. So the 19 hits, the dirty 20 he parries.
Okay. That is that dice. I'll take that one out. Cool. So that is 12, 18, 28, 34, 44, 51 plus 6, 12, 18. No, it's only plus 15. So 51 plus 15 is 66.
Ooh.
And he needs to make 3 wisdom saves.
Okay, 3 wisdom saves coming up. Oh, and he has disadvantage, doesn't he?
No, because it's
no
checks,
save.
not saves.
Yeah. Okay, he's good on wisdom saves. So let's hope. Well, I'm gonna guess a 21's a success.
Yeah.
Is a 17 a success?
No.
Oh.
So he's frightened.
What's he got?
If he's got Indomitable, I think he can re-roll it.
Sorry, I'm trying to check what this ability he has which looks like it could help. Oh, no. No. So, it's a one-off ability, but I think it's time to use it. The next one would have been a success as well then, because that was a 19, the next one. But he... you watch as the fear creeps into him from the hit. And he just growls, and as he growls, you see that he looks back. He has rallied, which has allowed him to ignore the effects of this for a short amount of time.
Okay.
So, it's still there. The frightened effect will be there as soon as his rally drops, but for now, it isn't affecting him. It is at this point that the pair of you are interrupted. And you see another young high elf lady looking rather bedraggled, and comes down the stairs and just shouts, "Stop, please, please, everybody's just stop, stop." As he looks up at her in a moment of shock, and she looks at you. Can you roll me a history check?
Yeah.
I want to see if Wayne would recognize who this is.
Because of the base of the fact that I'm trying to see if both of us recognize it, I'll add the memories of the past as well.
Yep.
So that is a 17.
Lovely. Wayne doesn't. But it's as you dip into Asana's well of knowledge that you do. Asana recognizes this. This is the Lady Mona. This is the next in line to the throne and the daughter of the now deceased king.
Personal bodyguard using a bartender as a front.
You see that he is holding one of his wounds as he says, "She did rather show up out of the blue." She says,
"Retired."
He nods. And she says to you, she says, I don't know why you're here, but please don't kill him. I'll come, okay? I'll go back. Just
I'm
don't
not here
kill
to
him.
kidnap anyone.
Then how did you know I was here?
I got told to come. There was a pull.
She looks at you and says, I just escaped. And I had nowhere else to go.
Just escaped? Where?
I was trapped in this tomb. The Tomb of the Ancients. Where my forebears were buried. I was trapped in there when this creature just smashed the wall down and just teared around, and I don't know, in the confusion I was just, as these guards started running around, I just ran as fast as I could.
Can I insight that?
Yes, you can.
Um, 24.
She looks traumatized and telling the truth. You take that on faith. She honestly looks like she couldn't lie if she wanted to right now.
There was a knocking.
On the wall just beforehand.
If you were the one who was knocking, that would mean you know thieves can't. Not very good of a princess.
She smiles and says, what can I say? I dabble. With Thieves' Cant, she is going to... With her hand, she basically signs a symbol through her hands. It's a very rudimentary thing. It's a way of it's a usual sign used for pickpockets to indicate that someone's an easy mark.
Just for reference, that's like entry level Thieves' Cant.
Yeah, she's done like this is, you know, baby's first Thieves' Cant basically. Yeah.
Following on from that, I guess I do sort of like more complicated Thieves' Cant just as a response, which is more like kill them, dissolve the body in acid, and bury them at sea. That kind of thing.
It's quite funny because she sees that. You can see there's a moment of her having to like process. You can just watch as her brain's like ticking over each of the steps. And she signs back that the pigs are better.
You were taught.
Yes. Yeah.
By the person who was in there with you?
No. I had a friend.
I will be honest if you will be. I am the one who released you.
Oh.
Who is your friend? And where are they? Because I feel like if there was a pull, it was not from you. It would be from someone from my past.
My friend is no longer with us.
Neither am I.
And my friend was executed for his crimes. Thank you for freeing me.
So why was I pulled to you then?
I don't know. I don't know what would pull you here. What kind of pull was it? As she steps forward, closer to you. Like, at this whole time she stayed on the stairs away, She now takes some tentative steps closer. You can see that the barkeep is now has kind of pulled out a pack from behind his bar and is wrapping one of his wounds.
The kind way your very soul is pulled towards something of note.
She smiles and says, "Oh dear." You see that she smiles and looks up. You can almost see that she's rolling her eyes as she says, "Do you know who I am at all?"
I know that the body you have is of the princess.
I am the princess. But I am also... I am the matriarch of Arwen in this town. As head of its church. And his people. I guide his flock. And to emphasize the fact, you realize that she still has her holy symbol. And with that, she closes one of her eyes for a second, reopens them, and you see that her eye, like her pupil and iris, is just replaced with that same green energy again.
For reference, is that like...
Think Archbishop.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm thinking of the one who we were warned about by Biobra.
No, not the same sort of thing. She's the level above.
Right, okay.
She's the big cheese. Big
Oh,
cheese.
okay.
The one that Biobra warned you of is... Think the difference between a bishop and the archbishop.
Mm-hmm.
He warned you of a bishop. This is the archbishop.
Okay. And you were locked away by the bishop, I suppose.
Yes. The brother has, someone of my nature is not supposed to be on the throne according to his values.
We had a conversation with Barbara about it.
You did?
At night, have your bodyguard take you to the Winimere's Fall.
Where's that?
In the reclaimed district.
Oh, in Ashebra. Ashebra, that one.
Azerbaijan, no.
no, definitely not there. Oh, God. Yeah, Ashebra. Why can't I pronounce things today? That word, the district that it's in. She acknowledges and says yes.
The tavern has a large statue out the front of it.
1 second. Oh. Yeah.
There are people there who would like to meet you, and ultimately Biobra spends his evenings there after he's finished working for a day.
And you see that she looks around her and says, he would protect me? I would be safe?
We would, yes.
Okay. Are you alright with that? As she looks over. You see this man steps forward, heals up his wounds, and says, "Yeah, I'll bring her over. Don't worry about it."
Well, it depends. I'm aware you've just met me, Princess, but I physically cannot lie. Or more to a point, I don't lie because there's no point in it. Can you trust me to the point where I could take you there now?
I fear I would be recognized along the journey.
I don't see how that's physically possible.
She looks at you with a bit of a funny look for a second. Out of character, the DM also doesn't know what the implication here is. It's both me and the princess being a dumbass.
Wayne will take a knee and kind of like beckon her over. Because I'm imagining she's like late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
Don't resist and it'll be fine. Wayne will actually he can't he will take her shoulder and will distance spell dimension door the two of them.
As you do so, she goes closer, pauses and says, I will miss you, Caden. Caden looks back, smiles and says,
close up shop and join us later.
If milady wishes so. And she nods. Then it is done.
Before we depart, I should tell you, close your eyes, open your mouth.
No, I know the reason why. Can someone clip that out of context?
Yep, I'll do that real quick.
On no knees, and you shall receive.
So, she, like, gives you this look. I'm going to make her do an insight, actually. Because I think she would. Yeah, she rolls high. She rolls high. Yeah. So she does, and yeah, you...
Except it's the, you know.
Yeah, that one. Oh, God, that fucking rattles in my brain, that sound does.
That's the point.
Yeah. Yeah. You're too good at it as well. Ugh. So, yeah, and you are able to retrieve her.
And I guess he will turn back up inside the tavern with, you know...
Yeah. Now, I'm going to cut back, because a few things have all happened concurrently here. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to reorientate both the audience and yourselves to give you an idea. The events that have all happened so far have been happening concurrently. The point where Wayne gets back to the tavern after some time is the convergence points where the four of you are reconvening at the tavern. When Wayne comes into the room, Salvar, Saralise, Bulla, and Tara are all in the room together. As Wayne is about to pop in, Tara is talking to you, Salvar. I'll tell you when Wayne comes in.
Is this happening after? Or...
This is after, yeah. This is a time skip. So this is the point where all of those events before have happened at the same time. This is the point where all of your little vignettes are reconvening.
Oh, okay.
I imagine. Sorry, go ahead, Rob.
I'm confused as all hell because it's like we didn't go to. Is this before or after going to that place?
Before going to that place. Sorry.
Right. Okay.
This is just those different roleplay scenes.
Yeah.
They happened at the same time. This is just the point where you guys reconvene.
I see.
After those scenes, but before anything else.
Well, that's good.
Right. I would imagine Bulla is just walking in as well.
Yeah, Bulla is just walking in. Saralise and Salvar, you've been talking to Tara, and Tara is saying to you, Salvar, saying, "Look, I don't know if the sisters down at the, they were mentioned a few times now. Twat upstairs keeps mentioning them. I think it might be worth paying a visit to them down in the docks."
Very well.
They are your people. Whilst they're sisters of the Morrigan, their praise of Arwen might be of use to you. And they're... I don't know. I don't know if they could be helpful, but I don't see how else we're going to figure out what this Dragonborn nonsense is without their help.
Agreed. I'm not sure how they would take me, though. I mean, truth be told, I never actually... Well, at least I don't think I met any other members of my sect. And, I mean, I fear they may see me as some kind of recluse, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Well, today's been one for lost and found family, so...
Yeah.
Here's to the best. Buller should be... And at that point, Buller, you enter the room.
I also have traded my axe for my maul as well, so I have the hammer and maul on me. I just kind of walk in. You know, when you've just been crying a lot, so you just try not to feel anything. That's what her face looks like.
Yeah. Okay. So as you walk in, she smiles, looks back, and sort of beckons you over.
I walk over.
So I was just mentioning to, and gestures over towards the others, says, I was just mentioning that maybe we could visit the sisters of the Morrigan, about this Dragonborn.
Yeah, we should do that.
Might be an idea to, in case things are hairy, to bring him to.
Let's do it.
Okay, well, I have no idea where the hell he disappeared to. There is like this solid beat, and then there is the howl of the door that opens as you just watch as Wayne just with a woman. Saralise will know, because Saralise, you've travelled enough to recognise she's a bit of a household name. You're someone who's tuned in enough around here. I don't feel like Salvar would bother to... Actually, no, Salvar would. This is the matriarch of... This is the local matriarch. I think he would recognise her.
I mean, as far as I recall, I've not met anyone else. I mean, the only other religious people I've met is Dika, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Also, would Bola recognize her from working with the Crown Guard?
Yes, you would.
Okay.
Because as this woman comes in... No, Salvar would, but Salvar would recognise her because of all of the various depictions of her inside the temple.
Mm-hmm.
You would recognise her as like... It's like if someone bumped into the Queen but had never heard of her except for the fact of seeing her on money. Right? Like, there's that moment of... Hey, bitch, is that you? Like, you dis bitch.
Bitch. That's
like you with the face.
Yeah, you each have that uncanny moment as you both look up, and you see that she looks has this moment of being petrified as she's got her mouth wide open and her eyes closed, going like, and then
you can open them now.
Okay.
Close your mouth too, you look odd.
Alright. Wait, but I have to open my mouth to talk. Oh god, this is so weird. I don't get any of this. Oh, hi.
Not necessarily.
Oh.
Okay. Bola's gonna go to the front door and bar it.
Are these your, are these
Yes.
friends of Biobra too?
Yes.
Okay, so they're allies.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Well, hi.
Milady.
It's
Princess.
okay. We can dispense of the pleasantries. My friends used to call me Kate before my regal name. So,
Kate.
and technically I don't have a throne anymore, so I'm back to being just Kate.
Tara, do we have a room for Kate?
You see, Tara just is completely dumbfounded. Like, somehow is more dumbfounded than earlier in just trying to find the words as she goes, yeah? Sir?
We should do that.
Doing. And then just goes and grabs like just a drink that she's got on the side and a set of keys and says, Kate, if you'd like to come with me, as they lead away, and it is the four of you in the room.
Bola, as soon as Tara has had Kate and taken. She's like checking windows, make sure no one else saw that, and just kind of like making sure no one else is around.
You know, Wayne, your dimension door looks very different from mine. I don't understand it.
Well, I imagine that you were trained in conventional ways. In other words, your dimension door takes you briefly through the astral plane. Mine was given to me by a necromancer, crazy woman, so ultimately mine takes me through the Shadowfell. Or the Nine Hells, I'm never sure which one.
I think mine takes me to the Feywild.
Oh, well, there you go.
Even nicer. Actually, no, that can be terrifying. Feywild is deceptive like that. At least it's prettier.
Well, that's how I'm flavoring it, because Faye touched.
Yeah. So, as you are here, is there anything else that you guys sort of want to do before heading away?
Yeah, I need you to send me the information on my fucking trident.
Did I not do that?
Nope.
No.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh! I thought I did that. I apologize. Oh dear.
We kind of briefly talked about what some of it did.
Yeah, we have.
You didn't tell me all that it did. It
No.
didn't send me the information so I could put it in D&D Beyond.
While the DM is doing that, Bola is. Did anyone see DM?
Did anyone see
Kate?
No. Oh, well, actually, yes. Kate would have been seen by... Oh, I know who it is.
Yeah, was there anyone just chilling at the bar, or...
No.
Cool. Because I know it's
because
like kind of
is-
destroyed after our battle, but...
Yeah, but she was seen, just not by anyone chilling at the bar, was spotted by Isaiah. Isaiah is a lovely little caretaker who works for Tara, who mans the bar occasionally, knows Salvar, cleans the rooms. He's an old doddery fart. He's a halfling. He's very old. He does his best.
Oh, hey, has
And you can just see this look on his face of utter confusion as he's looking up at you, just like direct eye contact.
At Bola or at Salvar?
At Salvar.
Okay.
Now I just have the prolonged eye contact.
Prolonged eye contact. Yeah.
Salvar.
Yeah.
Tell your friend he didn't see anything.
I'm gonna
Ultimately,
roll
if
it
he
in
works
such
for
a- 'cause I
If he
haven't got
works
my-
for Tara, he's part of this resistance, so unless he's a spy, he's in good hands.
Salvar's just gonna be like, right, goes behind the bar, just pulls out. Actually, not behind the bar, into his pack, actually. And because I know I still have one of these in my notes.
Nice.
I'm gonna pull out the one bottle of dwarvish liqueur
Oh.
and be like, you saw nothing.
He takes
And
it, smiles, and says, "Nobody tells me nothing." As he turns around and just hobbles out of the room with his.
You made that old halfling's life.
I already drank the half. I've already drank the half of that. But I've still got another bottle of dwarvish liqueur and it just makes a bottle of Elvish wine.
Very.
After... Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Zach. Do you have more?
Yeah, just a very quick second, because he leaves, and I just need to send this thing to Liza. Liza, that's the base of it. That does not include its full... That's the instrument it's based on. So it has those abilities, plus some homebrew stuff. We'll get round to that. when I've got a free moment, but just for your base reference, that's what you got.
Cool. I'll just add that as notes on, because since it's a weapon, I put it in as the trident.
Yeah. It's that one, but a trident plus some bits.
Does it give me those spells too, or?
Yeah. I need to change one or two of them. There's a bunch of spells in there. A few of them need to be changed because I flavored it a bit differently for you.
Okay.
Obviously, giving you a more aqua theme to them. Now, anything else you need to do before you leave?
Not particular. Bola would have cut to the chase and be like, let's go.
It is a short and awkward trip over. There's not a lot of talking. There's a bit of a thing until you arrive. When you arrive, you see a rather bland-looking building from the outside of it. You can tell that it's got something special in it because of the fact that it has a rather unique stone pattern that looks very finely milled. Like, it looks like it was expensive to mill it that way. The stone itself isn't particularly rare. It's just surprisingly well milled and softened, and has a couple of smaller columns that is laid within it. You can see as well at the front of it, there's a few symbols. The two that you recognize immediately, there's a few that are just general that relate to a few ones. You see a black star that burns through a gay background? A grey background.
I mean, it can be a gay background, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you know.
Being a grey gay.
Fancy.
Yeah, grey gays. Hey, it works.
Okay.
I made it. It's not exactly going to be ash straight, is it? So, yeah, it's a black star on a grey background with these sort of shining lights through it. It's quite recognisable as Arwen's symbol. But surrounded it, over the top of it, you can see that very much in the shape of a tent is a set of crossed spears. That each have these silver hands that grip onto each of them. And below them, you see a wave of this greenery with these white waves going over the greenery that is on the base. When all of these come together, you recognize these as the actually, religion check for the rest of these symbols. For anyone who wants. For whoever wants to do it. Some of you can do history checks if that's where you would be drawing on.
I'm going to do the obvious religious thing.
Oh, she doesn't have plus anything. That's a 12 from Bola.
18.
Let me see. Throw this one. That is a 22.
Lovely. You both figure out this because you recognize the crossed spears as the sign of the Morrigan and the silver hands as the symbols of the duality of war, the god of war himself, Nunda. These are the hands of Nunda. The symbolism underneath, you recognize the waves as Mana Maclear, the god of oceans and sea creatures. And obviously, at the center of it all, obviously, the symbol of Arwen, the god of life and death. And there is something written in Sylvan. Who speaks Sylvan again? You two, no one else. The two of you that speak Sylvan, it is he who walk in our hallowed halls knows only death. And through that, you seek out salvation. Sorry,
I feel like in her spare time, Sarlace needs to start studying Sylvan.
And yeah, you're at the front of this building. What do?
You believe that me and Salva require invitation to enter, as it does specifically state he.
Oh. Well,
Is that what that says? What does it say? And does anyone tell her what it says?
I'll rely it on.
All right. Sure.
I guess we're leading the charge here.
Yeah. She'll kind of walk in, honestly. No knock, just.
Starlight respectfully knocks and then walks in.
Oh, Bola just walks in.
I feel like it's that thing that you do though, where you're going in, but you're like going in with a purpose, and then you knock as you're walking in.
Yeah, it's the it's
Timmy, I'm respecting your privacy by knocking on your door, but my father is your father by coming in anyway.
Yeah, literally. As the pair of you enter, you see that there are several several women dressed all in grey, very covered over, reminiscent of a habit. But have any of you seen the traditional Welsh garb? Welsh women have. Oh, I'm sharing with you after stream. It's great. They have bloody bivouac horns on top of their heads. It's great. Basically, if you search up some traditional Welsh garb, it's bright red and white with these large hats that you can hook.
I think I know what you're on about, actually.
Yeah, it's very much in the style of this. It is covering them, but they have very large headpieces that move along that their hair is wrapped into.
Oh my god, those are huge hats.
Yeah, they're big. They're big. And it's that, but in all tones of grey and black. And the two women turn and walk over, very calmly but quite sternly, say, "And what brings you today, my children?"
I received a weapon from someone I killed. Well, we killed. But before, and I need.
Starlight is face palming when she says, "I killed." She's like, "Great first impression. Great first impression."
But I would like some information on that. But before that happens, respectfully, can our menfolk come in?
Stupid man thing. Just sorry.
You can see that both of them, they're quite reserved, but it doesn't take a high insight to realize that both of them are not happy when you ask so, and both look at each other and say,
They respectfully have some questions for you, too. Well, one of them does.
I have... Go and fetch Seron. She will know what to do. You two, please stay here. Keep your men outside. As they both turn. Returning back, I would like now for our lovely friend who is on the stream with us, who is currently muted, Casey, to switch on their camera and unmute themselves.
Bum, bum, bum.
And Casey.
Change their name.
Yep. Oh yeah, got to get the name in because
we don't know the name yet.
You don't know the name of the character yet, but what you see is this orcish woman who is wearing a much more ornate garb than the rest. She has the same lot, but she has embroidered. It has like these symbols marked in, and you realize that along her sleeves of the one she has a tally. There are like little marks that are tallied along it, and she has got loads of them up and down both arms with these small black tallies. Each black tally is a small straight line that is outlined with a small bit of gold. So you see there is a golden outline to each black mark, and there is just dashes of them all up and down her sleeves. And behind her, Casey, could you introduce your character for us? What do they see?
Yes, behind Saron, you have a satyr standing about 6'3" with coarse and pockmarked skin over their body. Very lithe, not much muscle in it, as they're wearing black trousers as well as like a black button down under quite a thick leather jacket with crosshatch stitching in it. The most interesting thing when you look at their faces, first, one of their horns is almost completely shattered, with most of their head being like this ashen grey, but along with the shattered part is just streaks of black following it behind. And the other horn, still there, has what look almost like poisoned vines curling up around it, spiking into it. Her eyes are like balls of black ink, where even though you can't see any iris, you can feel them just scanning over each of you, particularly focusing on Wayne and Salva, just a bit confused but accepting that they're there. And then while most of the scene is tan, you can see it's reaching up just onto the neck and on the chin, but mostly around the hands, under the coming out of the rolled up sleeves. It seems to be stained black and scarred, almost indented slightly into the skin, looking almost as though oil has just been splashed over them. With the fingernails coming out of these blackened hands, looking more like gnarled bone than nail. And is just watching each of you trying to get a grip of these newcomers into their home.
And as they do, I also am going to need some assistance here because I can't pronounce the name that you've got for your character. I love it, but I don't know how to pronounce it.
Alos Zivra.
Alos Zivra. You see that, so as these two walk forward, you can see that Sister Saron steps forward in front of you and says, "Your men may be granted passage. They are to be respectful and silent when in the presence of our walls."
Very much appreciate that, ma'am. If one of them has a question, are they not allowed to ask said question?
They may speak when permitted.
Understood.
And as she goes to sort of step towards the door to see them, she says, "I am Mix Saron, and Alos, I can't.
Either or.
Say again.
Either or.
Alos, and this is Mix Alos." And she steps forward, opens the door a little more, and she sees Wayne, doesn't register too much, but on seeing Salvar, says, "Oh, sisters, you didn't explain. Come forward, my child. Don't worry. You are always welcome within our walls."
Okay, so I'll take a step forward, but I'm going to stay close to Sarah Liza and pull her.
Saron looks over to you, Alos, and without the other sort of seeing, she gives you a little smile and a little hand gesture saying to gesture for you to follow her.
just wait a moment. Is everyone else doing it as well? Or is it?
Yeah, she's gesturing to everyone, but she's surreptitiously gesturing to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably wait and just follow behind the others, wanting to observe them more.
Yes.
I was going to say, based on the fact that she said you will be respectful, Wayne kind of waits even for them to enter before entering behind them. Still, he doesn't say a word. It's one of those things where it's just like...
You just get like a curt nod of thanks as going through.
Yeah. As you're walking through, you quickly realize that the space in here is non-Euclidean. This building is much larger than it is from the outside. It's an extra-dimensional space, like a bag of holding.
Right.
Fucking
Right.
TARDIS church.
I was going more like pocket dimension rather than a TARDIS, but all right, sure. In fairness,
Two things that Zach does immensely well: leg cripples and TARDISes, or Doctor Who references.
Lewis!
I'm just saying, every single campaign we've had, someone's lost a leg. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that is a valid point. It happens every time. In fairness, it's bad enough the fact that this isn't a Doctor Who reference, but is still a Doctor Who reference because of how often I reference Doctor Who. It feels like a Doctor.
Look.
Do I need to go get the fez?
Look. Even the DM has to get their trauma out somehow.
Yeah. Who does therapy about having, fucked up legs? When I've just got D&D, I've got D&D. I can steal other people's legs. It's great.
I hate everything about this.
Yeah. This is a real embodiment of r/thanks I hate it. Right now. So, moving swiftly on. We are going to have Casey's first roll of the campaign. Casey, I need you to do a history check for me, please.
Oh no. I was so prepared for a high roll, but nope. 14.
Okay.
Yeah. Could be worse.
Alos,
Not horrible.
you recognize Salvar.
Oh.
You recognize Salvar from your very early days here.
Oh shit.
Interesting.
Back when you were first here, when you first came to the Sisters, he looks reminiscent, and he looks reminiscent to a book you remember reading shortly afterwards. And you can see the distinctive marking, but you're not sure. Like, your brain's kind of... when you think you recognize someone, but you're not entirely sure when you're walking down the street? Like...
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got, like, just a weird hunch. You've got this moment of, like, do I? Is that?
Yeah, so, like... Wayne from behind probably noticed almost like a double take as like looking along and then just snaps back to watch Salvar for the period of following.
Doesn't take any notice.
Yeah, Wayne is a bit...
Okay, fair enough.
Wayne does not do the subtleties of the world. And, yeah, you're walking through as Seron says, I hear that you're here to speak to me about a weapon, and you're here to speak to me about a query regarding texts.
Yes. I believe I guess I'll go first. She'll take the hammer, not like very slowly, so it looks like she's not pulling it out. But as she's pulling the hammer, she will take notice of them all because I have to it's huge, so I have to turn my shoulders and lean it over. And she will slowly unwrap the hammer until it's revealed. And she will say, we are the warriors from Winimere. We took out a very prominent arcane woman. Her name was Asana. she was wielding this weapon. I took it from her dead corpse.
She smiles as she says, "May I, child?" As she places her hands to sort of touch the weapon.
Please, please.
She gently, you can feel that she picks up what is quite a heavy weapon and seems to, like, irrespective of its weight, has no influence as she moves it quite easily around. She gently sort of strokes down the grip, sort of feeling its energy. As she
And
says,
the giant gem in the whammer that is still glowing, by the way.
Yeah, you can see that, and Alos, you'll notice as well. You don't recognize the weapon yourself, but her reaction is a lot. She's normally a lot more reserved. You can see, like, she's quite openly smiling in a way she would not with people outside the Sisterhood. Like, she's having quite a bit of a reaction, considering, as you can see as she looks at this weapon.
Okay, that's interesting.
As she says, "This is a tartan vanquisher of the highest order, milled by the dwarves originally. Only a certain number of these were held by the greatest imperial warriors. Even the dwarven emperor himself had one. You, dear child, have come across part of his honor guard, one of the weapons of his honor guard. However, the one you have here is a corrupted one that was taken by the legions of the Infernals during the Great War and used for their own purposes. This was the rule of 24, the 24 weapons that could vanquish the Oracle, the only weapons that could take down an immortal. And you, dear child, have one of them. This is a very powerful...
Mortal.
Yes.
Gods.
It is a god killer.
Oh.
She is a temperamental beast, though. You must rein her in. You must feel her as she feels you. As you reach... No, I'm not going to do that, because I can see the last...
Do it.
Fuck it. You must reach deep within each other and allow her energies to flow through...
You can't even do it! I was trying to let you do it!
Yeah!
I mean, I'm literally just talking about the fact that, you know, Bulla down the line's going to be like, I'd love to smite the shit out of you, but my weapon's being a fucking brat right now.
As I mentioned, when you said the roll of 24, I swear to God, Zach, I thought you said the roll of 34.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a very different rule.
Yeah.
That's a very different rule.
Fitting, but no.
No. Oh, no. Oh, oh no, that's a story for another time.
Wait for the break. Wait for the break.
As she sort of strokes down and she's looking at the weapon, she says, "I'm fine. I'm not laughing. I'm just like, because I can see you in the corner of my eye. You guys are there. So I'm trying to look over here and talk, but I can see bloody Rob and Lissa just carking me over because they start laughing and it cracks me up. Anyway, so
she teases the shaft.
Focus.
Yeah.
Stop it! Oh my god! I want to know what this weapon does.
I'm still trying to stop laughing.
It's literally a whole season and we still haven't found out what this weapon does. I'm so excited.
This weapon must be attuned to, but not only with attunement, it must be attuned by certain people. Only those who walk down the path of the warlock, the path of the wizard, or the path of the paladin may wield this weapon. Sorry, wizard, cleric. Brain short-circuited there. path of the cleric, the path of the paladin, and the path of the warlock may wield this weapon. You choose who to destroy with it. You must target that creature. Once you instruct your weapon of which creature you want to attack, it will guide each of your strikes, yielding not only more effective strikes, but allowing you to hit and break through armor, imbuing you with strength, nimbleness. It sets its mission to destroy that target.
That's a lot.
The weapon also possesses a few other abilities. If used against physical structures, it deals even more damage. It is a siege breaker.
When one attunes to this, you mentioned about reaching in. Is it going to possess the user?
Not in the traditional sense. You could say that the weapon has a will, less a conscience, less a sentience, but a desire. It is imbued with the tenets of the Morrigan herself.
You'll see like a Bulla kind of glances over at her maul. There she is again.
That is another fine weapon you have. Quite the collector.
It seems that the Morrigan comes to me.
If the Morrigan wills it, as she smiles at you. She hands you the weapon back and says, "Attunement takes a number of days. This is not any weapon. And you must choose your targets. This weapon targets one creature and one creature alone. And if you do not kill that creature, retargeting it is difficult. It does not like to. It must finish a fight. The last property that is of relevance to you, young sister, is that when used against an immortal, this weapon gains additional abilities to hurt that creature. It imbues every strike it deals, and it will render their soul into pieces, never to be rebuilt."
Okay. Thank you.
Did you take this weapon honestly?
She'll think for a second and sort of been reliving that last moment for a while, and she say, "I took this weapon as a reminder of what I lost and what I refuse to lose again."
You won the weapon through combat. In the Morrigan's eyes, that is honorable.
There is no greater honor. She pauses. What's your passive perceptions, everybody, except for Casey?
11.
14.
14?
15.
14.
So
Okay, Bulla.
two 14s and a 16, did you say?
15.
15. Got it. 2 14s, a 15 and 11. Bulla's the only one to notice this, but in the pause, she looks back at Alice and says, "Nothing then more honourable than claiming it during loss or the fear of loss. It is your weapon fairly. I hope you prove worthy."
She'll bow.
And she smiles and says, "If the Morrigan wills it."
And Bulla will wrap it back up because, stupid.
Yeah. Salva.
Yes.
You wanted to speak to her, didn't you?
Yes. Am I allowed to?
She looks over at you and says, as a cleric and a friend of the sisters, you are, of course, welcome to speak. How may I assist you today?
A bit of a, sorry. A bit of a, wow, I can't do my voice all of a sudden. What's going on? A bit of a, confusing query. I need information in regards to the Dragonborn. Not to be confused with myself, but someone else that people think I am. I was coming from my voice.
It's alright. This is a concept we've dealt with before, and a problem we grapple with as well. Looking over at you, Alos, she says, do you remember the occultists last week? They said the same, did they not?
They were looking for someone. Seems familiar.
She sort of picks your hand up a second and says, go and fetch your sisters for me.
Of course. And I'll make my way off and gather everyone.
Yeah. And you see that as she does, she claps her hands, and you realise that without movement, you're in a different place. Like, you were standing in the middle of a hall, you're now currently alongside library books. You didn't, experience any sort of teleportation, you felt static, but the environment around you just kind of changed.
I roll an Arcana check.
You may, yes.
Because I have a feeling I know what's just happened here.
Mm.
Ooh. That is a 15.
Yeah. Salva, you know what's going on here. She's twisting the space around you.
So, hallucinatory terrain.
Oh, close. No, it's more as the physics of this room is wrong, and she's in charge of it. So she says, we were in the hall. The area we're standing now, that's not the hall anymore. That's the library. And then, bang, the environment. She wills the environment to change around her. It's like, in a kaleidoscope.
Nothing.
I didn't actually hear what you said there.
I said, TARDIS.
No, come on. It isn't a Doctor Who reference. I know I do a lot of them, but I didn't.
Anyway.
Fuck! Damn it!
I did have another question, but it would be better asked privately.
Understood. You see that you've irritated her as she turns back to Salvar and says, I have this book. I've been looking over it myself. She turns the pages and shows you a sketch. You see a Dragonborn standing tall with a strange armor, a familiar armor of bone, standing tall, and you have above, it says, the Dragonborn of Holt. Holt. Holt.
Noted this because this sounds important.
That's this plane.
Yeah, that's the name of the continent you're on. Yeah.
Fuck, my hands are shaking, listen. Holt, right?
Yeah.
Holt. Okay.
This is a vast continent, which contains many a hero. This is the closest thing I can find to the Dragonborn. As I'm sure you're aware, your kind are not very common. It's not often that you see one.
Is that bone armor common among them?
No, it's a distinguishing feature of the Dragonborn, of this particular legend. The Dragonborn was said to give last rites to those on their dying door, those that were dispossessed, that were unloved, and during their last days, he would comfort them and allow them to pass, and ensure no harm came to them. Travelled from town to town and gained a reputation. The Dragonborn is the most accepted name. In some places he was known as the Reaper, in others the Harvester. According to some of these legends, he collected their souls himself and sent them straight to the outer planes.
Starlight squeezes Salvar's hand.
Fuck. I think Salvar's just gonna say, fuck.
Do you know this Dragonborn then?
Intimately.
How so? I didn't think he would have lived this long.
Yeah. Can I have this?
As long as you are able to return it, any clergyman is welcome to withdraw from our suppository of knowledge. Depository!
Did you just say what I think you said?
Suppository.
Did you just say suppository?
I knew what I meant!
Stubby little bit.
I'm gonna stick it in my secret bag of folded.
Look, we knew you were a bottom, but...
Well, hey, what can I say? I have sex the same way I learn.
Hey.
Introducing Zach's new scroll case.
Sorry. Oh God. Oh dear. Right.
Well, shit.
Because as she passes it to you, she says, "The stories are old, though. None of these are very recent. The Dragonborn, supposedly, hasn't been sighted for quite some time."
Uh-huh. I'm being very vague right now, to the point where like I'm visibly uncomfortable, but I'm just like, right. I'm gonna go.
Starlight squeezes his hand again and goes, "Do the stories say what color he was?"
I don't know. I haven't written it down. That was clever of me. That was really stupid. I've got a whole thing written down here, and I did not write down a color.
Oh, this could be the breaker here.
Yeah.
I did not write down a color. Hold on. I have got it. Do you mind? Do people mind if I just take a really quick second just to dig this up?
Do it.
Sorry.
It's important.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
While
is really
Zach's
important.
looking that up, Starlight is going to reach over to Salvar and kiss him on the cheek and go, "Leifta, are you okay?"
Not really.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I've got it. She says, he was a bronze dragon born. Although I shan't imagine he's around. Can't see how he'd be able to have any effect these days.
I paint you blind. I just like.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Are you wearing your armor?
I sort of get rid of a majority of the bone armor.
Yeah, that's the crux of where I'm thinking is that you've got rid of a lot of the bone armor.
Yeah. Like I was draped in it at one point. Like I even broke the helmet out. Fucking.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
Ola, as she has noticed that her environment's changed a little bit, but is still listening while wrapping the hammer, a little jarred. But as soon as hearing bone, she's like, sister, did you say bone? Bone.
Yes, as in the as bones of creatures, presumably that it vanquished.
Uh-huh. battlefield ring a bell?
No, no mention of battlefields. Only says that it would wander from place to place, very suddenly disappeared. Sightings since then have been very sporadic. I think the earliest... She has a little flick through and says, well, the most recent one we have here was about 700 years ago, as the last recorded time that he was seen. Well, verifiably seen. Obviously, smaller stories crop up here and there, rumouring more recently.
What was he doing when he was last seen?
It's the funny thing. Nothing unusual about it. The story here speaks of him entering into a battlefield hospital. Some war that's now been lost to history of what they were ever fighting about. Some petty squabble of man. These humans slaughtering each other, and the Dragonborn enters this field hospital. All of the men there had come down with a trench sickness. He helped and soothed them. He couldn't heal them, so he helped them move on to a glorious death and soothed them into the night, and then left without another word. Seeing... is Wayne, like, trying to interject here?
No, he's not trying to interject. He's literally waiting for a break in the conversation that she will actually, like, answer him, because he asked previously, and she was like...
So he's actually raising his hand.
Yeah, so he's standing with a hand raised, and he says, "You may speak," she says to him.
The mall you previously stated. Obliterated souls.
That is correct.
Would it be able to fix my issue?
What issue do you possess?
He removes the helmet again. Keeping his face kind of like away from Bulla, so she can't like see his actual physical face.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bulla has a bit of a panicked reaction. And just kind of looks away.
I had hoped to actually tell Bulla, as this is a day of firsts and unfortunate news. But the woman who she claimed the mole from, her soul rests inside myself. She's the reason I have all of these abilities.
And it's kind of one of those wisps where like the small screams fill the air.
Now, I need Alos, as you're returning with your sisters, you see an enraged Seren, who is looking at Wayne. All of you watch how quickly her expression changes. You are wrong. You desecrate our grounds.
I'm just reaching into the inside of my jacket, just prepared.
The other sisters as well, you can see all of them are moving into a ready stance.
I was welcomed in, and I will leave if that is what is necessary. I simply seek to fix this.
As you seek to cure your affliction, please leave quickly, but let us conclude our conversation. I will allow it for now. Yes, the weapon that is possessed there could destroy the corruption. I think it would take some careful study to make sure that you don't end up destroying everything. But yes, the corruption is destroyable. Wayne, you feel within you a bite back immediately from Asana, who is essentially writhing on the inside. It's quite physically painful, which is strange for you to be able to feel it. it's a strange sensation after all this time.
I will take my leave. Know that while I know that I am wrong, it was not of my volition.
You have trapped a terrible being. You are to be commended for that. This is not the way. This is not honourable.
I just want to stop feeding her.
I shall assist your friends in curing you. You may take your leave now.
You changed our location. I don't know the way out.
Oh my god.
Right. From the perspective of the rest of you, I need to explain this to you. Because if you've ever seen some, like, non-Euclidean bending, this stuff is very fun. You watch, essentially as Wayne floats, turns upside down, and then just phases out of being.
That's a neat trick.
Wayne, you don't feel like you've moved. You just suddenly appeared next to the door. Like, the environment around you just turns into the door. Like, it just dump. And you are just
Wayne steps out, but for some reason I imagine that to everyone else they kind of watch this happen, and like, you know the noise that's like a cross between a slide whistle and one of those things where you turn it over and it goes,
yeah,
just like you watch him go.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is clearly this is not Wayne's World.
No.
No, Wayne's World is the world of screams and pain.
Oh, I thought it was party time. Hang on.
Yeah.
That fucking echoes in my chest. Like, it goes into my head and echoes through my body every time you do that. Oh.
When Wayne bamps up and says, I'm just going to wave my hand slightly, and a crow's just going to start flying through the temple to keep an eye on Wayne.
Excellent.
Or, a crow.
Yeah. You see that one of your other sisters nods to you and sort of acknowledges you for a second, as the woman that you're speaking to says, there is great evil that surrounds you. You have vanquished a great deal, and more has been taking place. I haven't informed my fellow sisters, but now is the... So we're going to take a really quick break, and we're going to get a nice something to drink, and we will see you back in a few moments, guys. we are back. Lovely. So, we had a very abrupt ending there. Don't worry, just had to go and stab myself. I am now I'm all the better for being stabbed, and we're ready to keep moving on.
With medicine.
With medicine, yes, with medicine.
Just to clarify.
Just to clarify. So, there's a tense moment as you are all here with Sauron? Fuck! Brain, engage! You're not here with
Saren.
Saren! Why is
Saren.
my brain is short-circuiting completely today.
It's totally Sauron.
Yeah, this big orcish, just suddenly just turns into the fucking witch
Turn
king.
around, there's a giant flaming eye.
That'd be terrifying.
to rule them all.
Yeah. The one hammer to rule them all.
I'm basically at this point, Bella's trying to wrestle that Ewan's in the room, but then wrestle with what he just said, and then the reaction is just a lot right now. Poor
Yeah.
Bella.
And
then Salvar on top of that.
Saren
We're like, the fuck?
speaks to you and says, whilst I haven't said this to my sisters, and I apologize to them now, but there is great strife in this city. And I suspect that you as the heroes of Winimere are intimately aware of what is happening to my city.
Mm-hmm.
I shall not permit it. However, we are not to leave. As sisters, the Morrigan has not declared our crusade. Therefore, we must wait and watch. Alos.
Yes. Now step forward a bit.
There is a weapon here that must remain within our care. There is also a creature out there which is wrong, and it poses a threat. With the permission of these adventurers, I would like to appoint you as my guardian, to observe and supervise, to make sure that these both are used properly, and that the danger is contained. If these adventurers accept, that is.
I don't see why we shouldn't. Alos can assist us in finding out more about them all so we can cure our friend.
I can't act. But my sister...
I can.
You can. And I can give you one of my sisters to help. I trust no one more than I do her.
While I respect everything that you do here, do know I do make my own decisions.
I would never impose my will upon you, warrior.
Wonderful. Because all my decisions have brought me to the Morrigan. It seems that she supports me as well. Just want you to be reminded of that.
Of course.
Can this really help him? And she, her facade completely drops and she'll start tearing up.
There's a chance.
Sarlaze she's respectfully staying away from Bulla's personal space, but she's also positioning herself to be closer to Bulla.
Yeah.
If she wants a hug.
Group hug. I'm just kidding. But yeah, she'll accept this and she'll look over at Alos. I welcome you to this party if you would like to come.
I just nod my head slightly and look over at Salva, who hasn't yet said anything.
He's not saying anything at all. He's just sort of like
he's
in his own world at the moment.
He's Salvar has yeeted.
Salvar's been Salvar.
Yeah.
Starlight looks over to Salvar. Lifta, I believe you need to say something.
Who?
Lifta means love.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I meant to... Hi.
I just reach forward to Beulah first, just since you've got the weapon. Just offering my hand. I would be honored to accompany you in your journey with this weapon.
Bolo, you'll see now she has tears running down her face. And we'll just grab your hand, probably a little too tight. So sorry.
That's fine.
She is 5'6". I don't know if you know that. I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
No, 6'5".
Yes.
6'5".
Oh, okay. So you're looking down like ever so slightly, but as you do grab my hand, it does feel very strange because it's almost like you're just grabbing a skeleton, like a wooden hand, almost the way the bone gnaws out of it.
She honestly, after the couple days she's had, does not even care.
Fair enough.
Not even the weirdest thing we've had happen to us in the past few days.
And won't even kind of budge, and just shake your hand.
And I'll then move over to Sully's and shake their hand, and then same to Salva, who or like shake and just give the look of it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still maintaining the tallest member of the party, so I'm happy with that. So
Yeah. With that, you see that she interrupts, saying to all of you, says, "Now, adventurers, you are welcome to return should you need more counsel, and especially you, young warrior." As she sort of reaches towards you, Buller, and says, as one follower of the Morrigan to another, you are always welcome in our home."
I appreciate that. You can call me Bola.
Buller. She smiles, takes a moment of, and you are reminded of the importance of names in these Celtic faiths, and you can see just how that like you can see the moment of that's a big step for her, and she has a strong smile and says, "I hope to see you again, Buller."
Thank you, sister.
And with that, she says, "Adventurers, if you could give me a moment, if I can prepare my friend here to leave with you. And if you don't mind waiting outside for a short while."
Thank you again.
She does the same thing, but this time when she does the clap, she moves you, but not herself. So you all just were in the library. You're now back at the door. Alos. You see that she waves away some of the other sisters and says, "Go and fetch her items from her room, please. Everything she'll need, and make sure to bring plenty of some of our pre-packaged rations. Is there any extra bags or just go and get it tended to?" As she gestures to the others, and she stops once they all leave and looks at you.
You believe this is right?
"I'm sorry I didn't tell you about what's happening out there. I wanted to protect you and all of you. But I can't. What's happening out there is getting worse. Those occultists you saw. It's getting worse. And the Morrigan may not will us to ride."
If it's this bad, why has she not dispatched us yet?
In a second moment of thirsts for the day,
Yep.
you see some very genuine, very visceral emotion on her face when she says, I don't know.
I see.
I don't know what has happened. Something is wrong. And although we may not be given our order, I can send you to protect that weapon. And in protecting that weapon, you can hopefully accompany them as they fix this problem. You fight with them, you get to know them. I have one request of you.
Of course.
If anything happens, the corrupted one, the twisted one, anything goes wrong, if you think that the evil within is not contained, kill it.
Without second thought. I
Thank you.
do have one question to ask in relation to that.
Yes.
You mentioned that weapon might cure corruption.
Yes.
Do you think it possible that it could help me?
You... Insight check.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, this is a big old fucking insight check you need now.
32.
Jesus
What
Christ!
the fuck?
What?
How?
Plus 13 to inside, baby.
Oh, we needed that. Oh, we need this
Oh,
so bad.
yeah.
I'm trying
Oh.
to think by that what class you are.
It pairs almost as well as the 28 passive perception.
Yeah! Yeah, I saw that already. Oh.
I can see in the dark.
Are you adding +5 from observant to your roll?
No. No,
How do you
Oh.
have plus 13?
Prodigy.
it's a mystery.
Okay,
So,
never mind.
With this, so I will say one very funny, just one side thing I love about this. The fact that you roll so high, part of me wants to go, your character becomes aware of the fourth wall and realizes my intentions as the DM. You know, just a full Deadpool and just like sees where the narrative is going.
I look up and see 6 people talking to each other across long distances on silver screens.
Oh dear, no. As you look, you know each other very well. You've known her virtually all your life. You realise that you've kind of hit at the thing that she's talking around. You realise you've hit at the one thing she was hoping wasn't going to come up in all this.
Ah.
Maybe. I don't know, but it's not a risk worth taking. That thing out there. But you... I'm not taking that risk. I'm not doing it. Okay? And you don't do it either. Please. This isn't the kind of weapon that you mess around with. If we can... I promise, now that I know that it's here, I'll see what I can learn.
Alright. I will do my best to understand why.
And you see that she seems like actually, like, again, this is so bizarre. You are, like, it's almost like talking to a different person. She's nervous. She's overly emotional. Like, this is just so out of character when she says, I'm not losing you again. You come home, and you come home in one piece. Got it?
I just will like hesitantly reach out before just pulling her into a hug and saying, I'll come home and I'll find out what's causing this delay in action.
She gives you a hug. She has that moment, and when it comes out of the hug, you can see she's put the facade straight back up, the moment that you're out of the hug, she's gone back to her regular neutral expression.
Yep.
Everything is prepared for you outside. Do check in from time to time. Let us know how you're doing.
Well, as much as possible. I promise.
It's goodbye for now, then. As the Morrigan wills.
And you. Now make my way, actually knowing the way through the temple, back towards the front door.
Oh, you have the same ability when in here? You can just...
Wait, I can do it. Oh, I just walk and clip my fingers and appear about 5 feet behind Beulah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And you just watch. And again, it's literally like he's materialized out of nowhere as he just... She materializes out of nowhere.
And you can see
all
now...
of us do that?
Oh, not without a great deal of training. And you can now see that on her back is a metal shield with the Tristella that usually bears the symbol of the Morrigan emblazoned upon the front of it, with protective runes surrounding the outside of it.
Yo,
Oh, that's neat. That is neat. So, as you're all gathered here, and you head down the steps of the temple and leave, where would you like to go? And what would you like to do?
Holla.
What time is it?
It's come
3:53.
Oh, I
My
meant
time.
Oh, in the game.
I mean,
Sorry, I
it's
thought you were
okay.
asking
It's okay.
out of the game.
No, you're good.
Funnily enough, no, I'm joking. It's 3:53 in the afternoon. No, it's early afternoon. There's most of the day's gone, but you've still got plenty of sunlight.
I guess I'm rolling fate dice. Okay, fate dice say Bola is going to kind of walk, but she's definitely like she's trying very hard, but she is definitely like holding back weeping.
Yeah.
And whoever's like trying to comfort her in any way, that's fine. Like she'll let you do that.
Starlight offers you like some water and stuff. She's not breaking out the Kedar leaf. She remembers what happened last time.
Actually, strangely, she turns to you and she goes, "Got anything stronger than that?"
I've got some Kana, but do you want it? I know. Okay.
She thinks
she
about
hands you
it.
the water.
No, wait. She thinks about it for a second, and she's just like, "No, it's probably not the best." Because she thinks about the fight she has to do later. Yeah, probably not. She will say that she's going to go back to her apartment. Yeah, she's going to go back to her apartment to prep.
So as Bulla breaks off, heads away, what would the rest of you like to do?
Starlight is going to go and she's going to try and have a chat with the little Kuatoa.
Ooh.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, exactly. That hasn't happened yet. This needs to happen.
While they're doing that, I'm probably gonna disappear myself, and probably, obviously, if there's no out of character interjection, I might go and see Buller actually.
You know where she lives, all of you do, except for
Yeah.
Alice, which I don't know why Alice would come,
Where
unless
would
she's
you-
like,
Yeah.
"Hey."
No, Alice is mainly gonna just be following Wayne, keeping an eye on him.
Yeah. So where's Wayne going then? That's a pertinent question.
Well, as people were descending the stairs, it's strange because Wayne, basically, whoever was looking down waiting for it, Wayne had his helmet off and was kind of staring at it. And then
Well,
seeing everyone come down, he like basically slams it back on.
since Bola has a hyper awareness of Wayne, would have definitely clocked that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then would kind of like stand and essentially start following Bulla because he's very aware of the fact that Bulla's got her fight and he said he would assist.
Oh, looks like the three of you are off for a fight then.
Bulla will know this and will allow this, just kind of like trying to think of one step at a time kind of thing. Just trying to like come into my apartment before I like die.
Saralize, we're going to come to you first. So you get back to the tavern. It's been a bit of a day. It's been a bit of a couple of days. And you see that Rayleigh and Tara are downstairs. The tavern's open, some light trade coming through. You spot the halfling from her earlier, Isaiah, behind the bar, pulling pints. And you see that Rayleigh kind of runs up to say hello to you, as she usually does, runs up for a hug, and all that lot. Before you're able to head upstairs, you go to this little room. And as you do, there is a little kuatoa that has kind of... Have you ever seen how otters nest?
Yes.
It has nested itself up in a bunch of blankets and is like trying to stay warm, and you can see that it looks quite cold.
Oh my god, I love this! I was already adopting this little kuatoa, but no, this, yes.
Yep. So, the kuatoa, is all nestled up, and you can see that it's just kind of up in, all up in the, up in this little blanket, and it looks like it's asleep. At least you think it is. It looks like it's got its eyes closed as it's nestled up, and you can see that it is sort of chilly. It does sort of vibrate as it's, shivering a bit.
Is there a fireplace in here?
Yes. No, there's one in your room, though. You have a fireplace.
Okay, so she picks up the little kuatoa in the blanket and takes it to her room and lights a fire.
Nice. You get a fire going, and the kuatoa is a little bit more awake. You realise that the heat helps it wake up a bit and gets a bit more active. And it just sort of smiles at you a bit, not really knowing what to do or say, but just kind of looking at you. Strange.
In Aquin, Sarlai says, "So how did you get here?"
Well, bugger me sideways. I never thought I'd speak to anyone like me again. Oh, you have no idea the trouble I've had to deal with since I've turned up at this place. They are all monkeys, I tell you. Every single one of them. Jesus, they have no idea how anything works. It's ridiculous. These savages keep poking me, and I don't know what to do. Right, remember, this thing is tiny, right? It's barely 2 feet, and it comes out with this, like, weirdly sort of, like, posh accent.
I love it.
It's no longer cute.
Yeah.
It's still cute.
And, like, by the way, like, it's really animated now as well. Like, it's flapping around, getting all angry as it's ranting to you about these people. It says, you know that they kept poking me. They kept, but the strange thing was, I don't know if they were trying to drown me or something. They kept throwing water on me as punishment. I'm like, that fails the point. That was actively helpful. Like, what are these people? They're idiots. Every single one of them. Absolute idiots. God, someone speaks my language. Oh, sorry, I had to get all of that out. I haven't really been able to talk for a while. Am I talking too fast? I feel like I'm talking too fast. I might need to slow down.
You're fine. You're fine. Though I would suggest breathing.
I'm okay. Right. I have no idea how I got here. I am telling you now. I was simple. I didn't have much in life. I just went from town to town. I sold my wares, picked up new wares in each town, sold it in the next town. I'm having a lovely time. And I have my brother, he passed away. And you see that he starts, like, going off into, like, all this detail about his, like, completely irrelevant family history. He eventually...
Starlight is just, like, nodding and letting him do this because she understands, like, because she had to get used to the language here herself.
Yeah.
That and because she's a tiefling, like she obviously probably had like a little bit of a better time because they have tieflings here, and versus Kuatoa's, which here are food.
Yeah. And yeah, so he rants and raves about his entire family history, about his turn up growing uncle and whatnot. Like you hear the whole lot. You also know about his great aunt who supposedly cheated with one of his other cousins. It's well weird. He goes into like this like just nonsense family history, and he eventually loops around after like solid 5 minutes, saying, "Well, you see, that's when I fell under the tree. I don't know what was going on with that. So I'm traveling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this tree has moss, but like, there's nothing behind the moss. And so I'm thinking, that's interesting, right? And I thought, it's a cubbyhole. You know what smugglers are like. I thought I could have something. I'm not going to lie, I was planning to nick it. But, you know, man's got to hustle. So
As one does.
As one does. So, I'm having a little look, and I'm in this weird, spooky place. I have no fucking idea what this place is. It looks pretty similar, but it's all weird. And then I'm getting chased. This beast is chasing me, right? It is really fucking weird. It's all black, and it looks like, it's like a dog or a cat, and it's all black, and it's flowy stuff around it, and it's all freaky. Anyway, I had no idea, because I just ran away, and then it kept flipping teleporting. It was a teleporting cat-dog thing. Anyway, the point. I'm running through this weird forest, and I fall through another bit, and I fall through the moss, and I end up in a bunch of water. Really weird tasting water. And I'm thinking, well, where the hell have I been taken? I thought, maybe I'm off the, I'm thinking, like, am I on the other side? Like, am I on another area, like, a different continent, different island? Like, why does the water taste weird? Water's water. Well, so I thought. Turns out other planes just have entirely different water. And, then this guy tries to fucking eat me!
Yeah, I keep complaining to our party members about this plane's decision to eat Kuatoa. I don't like it either.
Yeah, that was insane. Although it's weird, because the other Oh, you're right.
I'm getting called. Here, switch over to someone else real quick.
Will do. So whilst this Kuatoa goes off on another tangent about insane relatives, I'm going to move back to Bulla. Bulla, you've kind of got the party in tow at the moment of Wayne, Alos, and Salvar.
You know what's so funny is that, like, she knows Wayne's most likely going to follow, but when she's kind of stuck in her own head about everything. And then once she gets to her apartment, she stops and turns around and is like, oh,
Hi.
I apologize for the intrusion, but given everyone was splitting off, it made most sense to stick with the largest group.
Of course. Okay. We're doing this. She'll just open her apartment and just let everyone in. Alos, what you see is like think just moved into your first dorm by yourself.
Right,
like college student. But like somehow you just didn't get a roommate. So that's how bare this is. You will walk in and it's just like a single little table with like a chair and a stool just in case anyone came in. A couple dishes in the sink. You can see like there's like a small little living room with a little couch. There's one window and it's by the door. Also, oh no, it's not by the door. It's in her room. Sorry. You can see into her room. It's just a little bed, bare, pretty sheet, like a little sheet and a little table, a little coffee table next to it with a drawer. And there's literally nothing else in that bedroom but a giant axe that says welcome etched on the blade.
Is there a bong on the coffee table?
No!
It's not the vibe. I just look at the accent away from that, because I'm not going to question that.
Also, the mall, like, which you'll see, is like it has Morrigan, the symbol of the Morrigan on it, and it's got a lot of ornate detailings on it from first glance. And somewhere on the handle, what was it? What was it? It was welcome and something else. I don't remember what the word was.
Goodbye. Fuck you. I mean,
It wasn't goodbye. Welcome. No, it was welcome and something else. I'll whatever. It's another word that's kind of badass. Oh, goodwill. That's what it is. It says goodwill on the mall's handle.
She bought it.
Yeah, shit. I was going somewhere with this. I don't remember what, but I just let you guys in.
Yeah, you were explaining the room, just kind of letting.
Okay, good.
Yeah, to Alice as you let them in.
Sorry, I just want to point one thing out. I mean, I didn't know that other people come, so I'll come back another time.
No, Salvar, what's up? Like, she'll like let everyone in and just be like, you two, a second. Yeah.
I open the book, same page. I think that's me.
Yeah, I got that.
I'm conflicted.
About?
Putting everyone in danger. Putting Starlight in danger.
Bullet will actually laugh for the first time today. Just kind of like a small chuckle, like, Salvar, we are the trouble.
And people have died. Says nothing more. And if that is me, then I failed. And he's not making sense anymore. He's just stumbling over his words.
If that is you, you didn't fail at all. If anything, it seems that you appear when people need you the most, which means you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do.
Hey.
As though, yes, there's been a lot of death, but we've also saved a lot of people.
Yeah. Also, I'm really fucking old.
I told you that.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
act old.
yeah. Still look
Are you
good for
sure
my
you
age,
don't
though.
want to? You don't want to?
I mean,
I'm just gonna fight a mob boss later. It's whatever.
wait, what?
Well, two. Oh, come on. That cannot be the most crazy thing we've heard today.
I mean, you're my friend, and this is the first I'm hearing about it. A lot of shit's happened today, so.
Yeah. And more shit's gonna happen.
Do you need help? Or is this a one-woman show?
Do you know how to wrap hands?
Yeah.
Then come in. And she just walks in.
Okay.
She
What's
shuts
that
the door. Just looks at the three of you. rest up, I guess.
I believe it might be best quickly if I properly introduce myself, and I didn't quite catch any of your names. Then very briefly, to full interest, it's Elos Zero Zorneville.
Bola Smith. Just call me Bola. I'm really sorry. I've had a bit of a rough day. Is there like a nickname I can call you somehow?
Elos is fine.
Thank you. Elos. Yeah. Salvar. And for the first time, she looks at Wayne. Since the tavern. That's Wayne.
You notice that, like, upon introducing Salvar, like, I looked over and acknowledged that doesn't even look towards Wayne, just is aware that he's there and is not acknowledging that.
Okay. Full disclosure, I have to fight 2 mob bosses tonight in a couple of hours. If you don't want to see that, you probably want to go back to the tavern.
I'd quite like to watch, if that's okay. It's not often I get to see some of the more worldly aspects of our country.
Cool. Do you know any of the rules down there?
I know how to fight, if that's what you mean, but beyond that, depends what you mean by rules.
Okay. Just don't pick a fight. I don't see you being disrespectful, but literally don't disrespect anyone down there. I would not be able to save you.
Good to know. That's easy enough to follow.
We're here for a contracted fight. For that, it's not entirely your business to know just yet.
That is fine.
It's honestly better for you not to know why. But it's a contracted fight, so therefore it's not any of those rules where first time you come you have to fight or anything like that. It is literally just one fight tonight, and it's mine.
All right. Your business is yours and mine is mine, and that is okay.
Appreciate that.
In this moment, you said that you were going to get Salvar to help you wrap your hands.
Yeah.
Does Wayne sort of interject here, or is he going to float ahead of
No,
the event?
I ain't treading on anyone's toes, am I? Or
no, Wayne is very much just chilling. He's kind of waiting for a moment that he can, you know, he's essentially just here to accompany Buller to the fight because he said he would assist, and that is all.
Yeah.
Ultimately, he's very purpose-driven at the moment because there isn't a clear set goal.
So, I think we can get to the fight then.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I was going to say, in that case, I think we can go to the fight if you're ready for that.
Sure. I will tell them, like, right before I'm kind of look at all of you and I'm like, good, you all look like you can kick some ass. That's good. Try not to talk to anyone.
Won't be a
If you
problem.
have to, just don't.
I will say before we leave the apartment, I will do 2 things, right? With obviously consent. I will cast Aid.
Yeah, sure. Why
at
not?
6th level.
Oh shit.
Damn.
And I'll give 25 temporary hit points. Sorry. Is it temporary or no? It increases your hit point maximum Shit.
I just put it in temp anyway because
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
It less complicates things for
So
me. But yeah, 25.
I'll give Buller, Alos, and Wayne 25 hit points, and for Buller in particular as well. Both of these are 8-hour spells, by the way. I just want to point out. I will give you Death Ward. So basically, it's basically a second wind. So like if you go below 0, you just go to 1, and you
know, I will just stop you right there, to be honest with you, because I am half orc, so I have a relentless endurance.
You get more than 1.
Yeah.
If you have Death Ward, you do it twice.
Why not? Sure. Yeah. Just in case you wanted to keep the spell slot for some reason, I just wanted to let you know that.
I'm magic.
Oh, Bola was expecting to walk in this alone, so this is so awkward. She before you guys walk in, she'll look over at Wayne and just thank you for being here.
Asked me to be.
Yeah. She's gonna just take the vial of calm emotions because she thought she could handle that, and she can't. Was you in about the? I'm sorry, Wayne.
I mean, as you're kind of drinking the vial, it's one of those things where it's like,
technically, you also asked me not to go, so I'm still here.
Oh.
As she's downing this, she just like chokes on it.
Good luck.
Okay. She'll walk in. Just chest out. Just she had like a jacket on, but under it she's literally just wearing a sports bra and like straight up, like I think she has like some tight pants on, and like only because like, you know, you don't want anything too baggy to be yoinked with or anything. She's took her braids and like all of her like really long hairs, has like tied it into a bun
with the good luck, by the way. He subtle spell, so you know there's nothing else to go with it. Casts bless on you.
You are buffed the fuck up.
So you get the plus a d4 to attack rolls and saving throws for.
Oh god. Oh, this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's gonna be awesome. So, as we are getting ready for the fight, Saralize is seen with the Kuatoa. I'm going to come back and we're going to wrap up. Because the Kuatoa, as it's describing to you about the people that wanted to eat it, it says, I tell you, I don't believe it, right? I'm sitting there and I'm trying to talk and I see the other Kuatoa. They don't talk. They just flap. They just sit there and flap. Like, what did they do to the Kuatoa in this world? What happened to us here?
They're treated as food items.
Oh, God. Oh, this is a scary world.
I take issue with it too. It's okay. I refuse to eat Kuatoa.
Oh, I'm glad. I think I'll opt out of that one myself for obvious reasons. Oh, dear. This is so stressful. This has been a very stressful time. Do you know how to get home?
I'm working on that. She shows him the trident. This is an item from our world.
Oh.
So we need this and a variety of other things to try and get back. In the meantime, what I need you to do is stay here and stay safe.
That I can definitely do. I can stay here. It's a bit cold, but I do like the food. I don't know what that lady's name is, but the lady that works here, she's really sweet. I like her.
Kuatoa.
Her name is Tara.
How do I communicate with them?
Do we have a book on Common, like this world's version of Common? here.
Rayleigh might actually.
Rayleigh would have that kind of stuff, that like language books. Yeah, there would definitely be like, you know, school book. Rayleigh would have school books that would be relevant to this.
Starlight goes, give me just a minute, and she goes and grabs like the basic like school books.
Yeah.
And she goes, you can start learning this world's common if you like in the meantime.
Oh, that's a good idea. You see
That way you're not left unable to communicate with anyone.
Huh. Don't by any chance know my name, do you?
I do not. What is your name?
I don't
Do you
know.
happen to know it?
No. Well, she's weird. I remember a lot, but I don't remember my name. I remember remembering my name. If that makes any sense. Am I making sense?
It does. How about in the meantime, we call you,
You will be my fishy.
You are my fishy. If you call him Nemo, I'm gonna burst out of fucking, you know.
I wasn't going to. I was actually looking up a list of Kuatoa names, but now he's Nemo.
Oh, I shouldn't have spoke.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have spoke. Okay, Nemo. He seems pretty happy with that. Yeah, cool. That sounds awesome. So
That way we do have something to call you, and when you remember your name, you can tell me.
anyone else here know Aquan? Anyone know our speech, or is it just us?
It's just us. We're the only ones, as far as I know, from Aegina.
Why only two?
I don't know, but I do know that our world it's a pocket plane of the Feywild, so
Must have been where I went through then. That would actually make a lot of sense. That was a spooky thing chasing after me. Do you think he could get here? Because it followed me like through there, but I didn't see it in the water.
I think it's trying to get back. It's trying to get to Aegina. It's already tried to come after me, I think.
Oh.
I don't think it can break through yet.
Okay, well, yeah, I hope you do find something. Oh, where are my manners? You see that he looks down himself and goes into his pockets and says, oh, shit, I don't have it. When I came through, I had a nice little uniform on, and in it, I had a gem. That would have been really useful. You see that he kind of looks around himself and he points at you and says, do you know much about magic, young lady? Because I can't presume, but is magic a thing that you dabble in?
I'm a bard, so yes, I do know some bit about nails.
Terribly sorry then, didn't mean to just speak down to you.
Magical hands.
No, you're fine, darling.
So, I had a gem that someone sold me. I was going to sell. I paid a good amount of money for it, and I could sell it for way more. They called it a conduit. And I'm thinking, he said that it kind of like traps power in itself. You said something about having connections with the old place. Well, that gem's got a bunch of Aegean power, of like Aegean magic, just all crammed in a gem.
Huh.
And like, yeah, most of the time that would have just been, you know, like go to the next town, sell it, they stick it in somewhere and it powers a doodad. But like that could that help?
It probably could, yes.
Well, I mean, it's only theoretical. I don't have it, so.
Do you know where you came through? You said in the water, but where?
These fishermen picked me up. I remember the bearing they gave me. Hold on. You see that he starts writing in Aquan, and You see, he's drawing a map, and he said, "Well, while they were navigating, they were giving off bearings. Doesn't make any sense to me. They've got a different system here. But I did see the map, and these are the numbers I remember. And you see, he's written down a bunch of numbers he remembers them saying, and he's done a rough sketch of a map that was equivalent to the one he saw. Let me do a check actually to see how good of an artist he is.
Hi, Esri.
Oh, really good artist. Very good artist. Very, very good artist. It's beautiful. It's about 6 miles out offshore. In fact, you recognise it because it looks similar to other charts and bits you've come across. You're pretty sure that you could line this up with another naval chart and end up pretty damn close. The numbers at the top, you're sea literate, but not of this world. But they definitely, it's a lot of information you reckon someone could recognise and understand.
Okay. That's good to know.
I don't know where they put the gem, but the people that put me in the prison, they're the ones who have the gem now, in that big building in the middle of this town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've got the gem somewhere. I don't know where it is, but they're the ones who took it off me. They also have my uniform. It was a really nice uniform. I was quite attached to that uniform. It's a shame.
What was the uniform for?
Oh, I bought it off someone. It was great. It's meant when I was travelling between the towns, no one bothered me. It was great.
That's fair.
Yeah, some guardsman for one of the... Oh, I don't remember whose kingdom it was. It made me look like a soldier, and people don't mess with you when you're a soldier.
That's fair.
It did come with a really cool dagger, though. And you see at that point, he pulls out this weapon, this small dagger. It's rather gross, because he's not like, he's only got the clothes you guys have put on him. His scales open up on a patch, and you just watch as he reaches inside himself and takes a sheathed dagger and just slurps it out. As he hands it over and says, "Have a look."
She opens up the dagger. She just like totally skips over.
Yeah, just skips over that detail. Just like, yep, not questioning that.
Like I didn't realize Kuatoa's had a scales of holding.
Yeah, scales of holding. Was that my door? No.
Didn't hear anything.
No, I thought I could hear my door for a second then. But yeah, so you have a little look at it. We'll discuss about the dagger later on. We can go into some depth about what you see on it, but it is beautiful, beautiful dagger. With a lot of symbolism from your home, from Agena. Lots of symbols. Looks very expensive as well. It doesn't look like, this isn't the sort of thing you would find on a common trader. This is premium stuff. And with that, the Kuatoa kind of, you just see as he just kind of wraps himself back up in a blanket and says, "Oh, well, I'm going to warm up by this fire. I'm bloody freezing. Everywhere around is cold."
It is. It really is. It's much colder than Ballybrun. Ballybrun's tropical.
This place isn't. I tell you, I can't think of anywhere that's as cold as this. I don't know why. Oh, I thought I was well travelled, but bloody hell, everywhere.
Yeah, I would think Kuatoa's, because you tend to be, at least as a species, from the deeps of the water.
Oh.
I guess you are not adapted to that, having lived mostly on land.
Yeah, I'm a land fish. I like my land too much.
You could say you're a mud skipper.
Oh, never heard that phrase before. I like it. I'm a mud skipper. I'll be a mud skipper. That's what I'll do. Mud skipper. You see that he kind of just like nestles himself back into a blanket, and you can just see he's entertaining himself with the term mud skipper as he just wraps himself back up in a blanket.
Sarlais lets him do that, and she goes downstairs and asks Tara to make sure he gets into a room that has a fireplace.
Lovely. Excellent. We move over to... Actually, I think that's a nice, clean moment for us to end today's session. So we can start with the epic fight next session.
Ooh.
Yep.
What a session! What a session!
I know! And it'll be nice to get into some combat next session. It'll be good to see how that runs. And yeah, lots have happened. We found
Lots
out
of info.
We've met someone else from Balabran now as well. Balabran? I'm pronouncing it.
Balllybran.
Ballybrun.
Ballybrun.
There you go.
There we go, we got there. So we've met some people from here. We found out that Salvar might be secretly really fucking old. Yep.
The oldest and the tallest and the most sexiest one of the lot of you.
I was gonna say sugar daddy material.
Yeah.
I would argue that Bola might be the sexiest, but you know.
Okay, I'm the sexiest scaly then.
Okay, you can have that one.
I think we all have our own scale of sex.
With his age,
Scale of sexy.
I'm thinking, would that make him a gilf?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like I say, he looks like the early 30s sort of thing.
Yeah, he looks like he's in his early 30s. He has not aged, so...
I moisturised.
We also found out a lot about Wayne and why he is the way he is.
And we're forgetting the most important detail.
Our new party member.
Our new party member.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
This is very fun. I hope you've enjoyed your very first session here, Casey. And it's great to get you involved, and it'll be fun to see where this goes from here. For everybody at home, thank you very much. Just as a quick reminder before we go off, we are sponsored by geekyclean. geekyclean are a nerdy hygiene company. There is 10% off if you use the code Dead Society. You get a bit of money off, and they send some money our way too on commission. So you help support our channel, and you get some neat stuff. They've got bath bombs with like full dice sets in the bath bomb. It's very fun. But yeah, go check them out. Have a little look. Show them some love. And if you want to support us more directly, there's Ko-Fi. You can go over there, send us money. We used to have a Patreon. We don't anymore because I'm shit at Patreon. So I found a system I can actually use. And yeah, so go support us there directly if you fancy. With that, bye-bye, everybody.